And welcome back to the WWE 2K26 Showcase Punk. We're kicking it off with JBL and CM Punk at SummerSlam 2008, which, I mean, all of these are going to...
My first couple of years with WWE were a whirlwind. I was ECW champion, a team with DX at the Survivor Series, and I finally made it to WrestleMania. I won Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 24, which led to what most consider to be the best cash-in of all time.
CM Punk has done it! Mr. Money in the Bank has become Mr. World Champion!
This upset a lot of people, including my old friend JBL. JBL didn't like a thing about me. How I looked, how I talked, how I wrestled, music choice. Everything about me bothered him. And he saw SummerSlam as his opportunity to declare to the world that CM Punk does not belong. JBL thrives when he can strong-arm somebody, a true tyrant who takes great pleasure in badgering anyone who sees beneath him. I had no illusions that this was going to be an easy fight. My only plan was to hit him as hard as I could and beat the respect into him at SummerSlam. Now go put JBL in his place. Avoid the clothesline if you can. And let's make sure JBL feels like he's been sent to hell.
But all these matches are going to include CM Punk because he's the star of the showcase. Here we are, SummerSlam 2008 Heat. Punk is now defending the world championship against JBL. So as you saw there, it did say he won Money in the Bank. That was at WrestleMania 25, I believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
If it wasn't 25, it was 24, because he won them back-to-back. I want to say it was 24 and 25. But I digress. We'll have plenty of time to dive into CM Punk's rivalries with all that. But currently the man of the hour is right there. John Bradshaw Layfield. A wrestler who is, at this time, kind of towards the later stages of his career, being 2008 when this match took place. Whereas he started out in the 90s, trained in early 1990s with various vets such as Black Bart, eventually bouncing the indies, doing what he can, before getting picked up by WWE in 95. There, his ring name was changed to just Bradshaw, and he was thrown in a tag team with Barry Windham. They did some tag team stuff, but eventually that kind of fizzled out, and then to the late 90s and the early 2000s, they kind of paired him up with another wrestler, Ron Simmons, and they became the Acolyte Protection Agency. They were just brawlers. They'd show up, beat people up, and call it a day. That's basically what they did. They also would have like backstage segments where they'd have like crazy poker games, beer chugging contests, and they'd offer protection to wrestlers for whatever they needed. Your world champion needed protection because they were, going up against a three-man team, and you didn't have two people to back you up. Well, you could pay them, and they'd back you up. And that basically made him seen as more of a tough, fearsome tag team competitor. But, eventually, nobody wants to be in a tag team forever. Especially if you're kind of only putting a tag team to get on the card and stay on the card. So, eventually Ron Simmons leaves, or gets released, or they split up the Acolytes, blah, blah, blah. All these things happen in wrestling. Teams change via show split, a draft, or just guy number one is leaving the company and guy number two is staying because he wants to bet on himself as a singles competitor there. The other guy wants to leave and bet on himself as a singles competitor elsewhere. Or other times it's like, man, I got a family to take care of, so I'm going to leave. And it's really just up to the person. So 2004, he comes back as a wealthy, arrogant, Wall Street style billionaire, which is why he has the limos, the dollars, and when he would come out, he came out to like the Wall Street Bell. And just your typical corporate sounding stuff. This was his rise to the main event scene, where he would basically on SmackDown rise the ranks to become the WWE Championship, the WWE Champion, and hold the championship for, I think they said it was 280 days. It was the longest reign of that time. And before eventually losing it to the now 17-time world champion John Cena. And that was his first world championship, was winning it off JBL at a WrestleMania. He ended up, actually JBL, to win the title. He beat Eddie Guerrero for it. And they had an absolute amazing match for the belt. A couple months later, I want to say it was at a Backlash, where it was a good match, yes, on the ground, that they beat the tar out of each other. Which put the style of the match, JBL. I'm going to beat you down. Eddie's like, look, I will win. And of course, JBL has a tendency to get under the other wrestlers' skin by bringing up their past, bringing up their lifestyles, because if he doesn't like them, he doesn't like them. Eddie Guerrero, for the people who don't know, did have a drug and alcohol problem like a lot of wrestlers did. And some still do. But, well, I can't say some still do. Actually, no, some definitely still do, I think. A lot of them, like I know most recently, Mike Santana of TNA recently celebrated 3 years of sobriety. Cage or Soraya has been 7 years at the time of this recording. And the last time I saw them. So, there's definitely still some issues with drug and alcohol. And I think the biggest story recently was, well, for me it was Mike Bennett, where, you know, it was one of the things, like, I hear the stories and it's like, yeah, but, you know, it's fine, you know, it's a good thing that now he's sober and got rehab. But it was one of those things, I didn't know how bad his was until I saw an interview with, he was on Busted Open Radio. And he was having a conversation with Bully Ray, Dave LaGreca, Tommy Dreamer, whoever else was on the show that time. And they were like, you know, for people who don't necessarily know, how did these things get started? He's like, well, they usually get started because you start making good money. And it's not like, oh, I have this money, so let me spend it even faster. No, you get the quote-unquote good money, so now you have to make a lot more commitment. And it's kind of one of those things, what's an easier thing to do? Grab a quick painkiller and do a match, or back out of the match, lose all the money, and say you have to do it. And in Mike Bennett's case, he was a tag wrestler, and him and his tag team partner, Matt Taven. I don't know if Matt Taven ever had problems, but I haven't really looked into his career all that much. But the big issue with them was, it's like, oh, well, we got a tour of Japan. Let me get some of the pills so I can at least get through this tour, and then I'll stop. I need more. So it's like you always need the more. But that's the case with everything. Sideballing here, clearly. Sideballing. Segueing. Back to Eddie. He had gotten clean, and he delivered this amazing promo about how he...
Competitive match, Punk defending the championship. JBL whipped into the corner. The vintage running knee by Punk.
And what a shocking victory this could be for the young up-and-comer CM Punk, but denied by JBL.
Bradshaw just too powerful for Punk, and now the wrestling god teeing off. And JBL doing what he does best, manhandling his opponent. And JBL not too comfortable on the ropes, but going up there anyway.
Gonna do something here to put CM Punk away, and that may well do it, but it looks like JBL injured himself in the process.
down. The official counting away here. First man to his feet could gain the advantage in the matchup. JBL looks like he's gonna just crawl to the cover. Shoulders are down. Punk kicks out.
And a late kick out there from CM Punk. Just enough gas left in the tank, and you can see the cogs whirring behind the eyes of JBL.
JBL looking to end it all here with a clothesline from hell.
Punk dodges out.
Alright, back to what I was saying. So anyway, Eddie Guerrero delivers this promo that basically says, yeah, you're right, I am an addict, but it's no longer these, it's now them. Them being the fans in attendance who were cheering him on and all of that jazz. And it's this heartfelt, amazing promo, basically. And then, so it's like, oh, you think after that he's going to end up winning the title from JBL. They just ended up having an amazing match, and a very bloody one, too. But, beside the point, it was still good. And JBL is cheating, you jerk. But, so those were some of, like, in other feuds JBL had, as mentioned, John Cena. He had a good one with The Undertaker, Big Show. But, like, the Eddie one is kind of one that sticks out to a lot of people. I know that. And then you have the ECW One Night Stand promo where Heyman basically said, yeah, you only held the title that long because, that Triple H didn't want to work SmackDown. And, it's one of them things. Nobody's saying Paul Heyman's wrong, but nobody's saying he was right either. So, yeah. So other championships he had outside of the, what's the word? The world title. He won the Intercontinental Championship, the U.S. Championship, the European Championship, and the Hardcore Championship, as well as a handful of tag title reigns. He is considered a Triple Crown by WWE standards. It actually looks like he's got it. He's got the old and the new, because he won the WWE, the IC, and the European title, and then eventually winning the U.S. title as well. So that kind of makes you a Triple Crown in it with that, and also with the tag championships. Actually, he would be a Grand Slam, because he won the WWE Championship, the Intercontinental, the U.S., and the tag team, which are the only four he really needs to win to become a Grand Slam. But, Wikipedia can be wrong. But yeah, this was kind of right before his retirement in 2009. He then would transition to more authority roles or commentary in the later years. And actually, as of now, he's currently commentating for the WWE's revisioning of the AAA promotion in Mexico that they purchased last year. Outside of wrestling, he's done he was a financial analyst on various TV networks, CNBC, Fox News, all those jazz. He would show up and do financial analyzing for them. And yeah, so he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020, the WWE Hall of Fame, I believe, as a member of the Acolytes. But knowing WWE, they kind of put you now in the Hall of Fame for just being there and having a good impact. But that's basically JBL, and that's actually going to do it for this episode. And I will catch you all next time, where we will take on, I believe it's, from what I remember, Rey Mysterio. So that's going to be a fun match. Side note, I love how every single game, every single action figure, they changed his Pepsi tattoo to literally just a red and blue yin-yang. Which, yes, it's the Pepsi logo, but it's not sideways, it's now horizontal, it's not white, it's not the white lines. It's just something I've always liked. Anyway, later.